morning. Council, is there a forum?
Madam Chair, you have a quorum. I think Lauren's bringing you this script.
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
I got it.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you. I'm calling to order the July 2022 meeting of the IHCDA Board of Directors. The meeting pursuant to the board's policy for participation by members of the IHCDA Board of Directors in board meetings by simultaneous electronic communication. This means that only 3 members must be physically present at the site of the meeting. The remaining members may call in. There will be an audio feed for the general public so that members of the public can listen to the meeting. And there will be a link to the video recording posted on IHCDA's website next month. At the time the motions are being made, each board member that makes a motion must state his or her first and last name for the record. The votes will then be tallied by roll call. I will now take the roll call of board members to confirm members who are present and their location. Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch is present. Mark Casparella, the designee for the State Public Finance Director, Van Hugie.
I am present in Indianapolis.
Thank you, Mark. Treasurer of State Kelly Mitchell.
Present and present.
Thank you. Board Member June Midka.
Present at
Virtually.
virtually.
Very good. Thank you. And Board Member Andy Flake Sr. Andy is not with us. He's absent. Board Member G. Michael Schottmeyer.
Present virtually, Evansville, Indiana.
Thank you. Board Member Tom McGowan. And Tom is not with us. Perfect. Well, our first meeting item is the approval of the June 23rd, 2022 minutes. And are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? And if not, I will entertain a motion for approval.
So moved, Mark Pascarella.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second, Kelly Mitchell.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, board. Please welcome Peter Nelson, who will provide the bond volume 4% credits for AFR for Indiana. Peter, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, board.
Morning.
I am here this morning to recommend AFR Indiana for bond volume and 4% tax credits. So this was the 10th application we received and reviewed under the 2022 bond round. It consists of a total development cost of just over $26 million. They're requesting $16,246,349 in bond volume and $985,969 in LIHTC, preserving 186 units of affordable housing. So this is a project by Vita Investment Holdings, and I will acknowledge Zeke Turner of Vita is here today. It is the rehab of 3 separate properties in Indiana, so Arcadia, Fowler, and Rensselaer, hence the AFR. But each of these properties in those 3 cities are going to be rehabilitated, consisting of the 186 units and preserved. So they are current properties that exist that had operated under the tax credit program that had exited their compliance periods. So they are eligible for resyndication, a new influx of tax credits, keeping them affordable for a longer period of time. Each of these sites will consist of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. The Arcadia site will also include 6 4-bedroom units. For these, the scope of rehab is pretty standard for these bond deals. So stuff like new cabinets, countertops, fixtures, window treatments, and flooring. And each of these sites is located in a pretty nice part of the town that's fairly close to local amenities that include shopping, dining, and community services. So during the round, the real estate allocation staff reviewed the application to make sure it met the criteria of our 2022 qualified allocation plan. And we are happy to recommend the allocation of bond volume and credits for this project. I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions? No? Okay. And you,
Apologies. Lieutenant Governor had to step out, so I will serve in her place until she can return. I assume we are ready for questions. Does anyone have any questions? I will entertain a motion.
I will go ahead and read the
Oh, yes.
resolution. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm caught up now. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're very proactive.
Thank you. Staff respectfully request the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the board approve awarding $16,246,349 in bond volume and $985,969 in annual LIHTC to AFR Indiana LLC for AFR Indiana, according to the terms of the 2022 AV application round as recommended by staff.
Okay, we have a motion. Will someone make the motion for us, board?
So moved, Mark Pascal.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
June Midkiff, second.
Excellent. I will now take a roll call. Ann Valentine, serving for Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, aye. Mark Pascarella,
Aye.
Kelly Mitchell,
Aye.
J. June Midkiff,
Aye.
G. Michael Schaffmeyer.
Aye.
Hearing no one opposed, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Next, please welcome Ellen Rakowski, who will present the bond volume 4% credits for VITA of Greenfield.
Good morning, thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Here to present the second of 6 bond deals we'll have on the agenda today. VITA of Greenfield Independent Living is the 4th application received and reviewed in the 2022 bond round. It has a total development cost of $22.8 million with $16,776,000 in bond value and $664,501 in tax credits. And it will create 102 units of affordable housing. VITA Investment Holdings LLC is proposing the new construction of a 130-unit apartment community in Greenfield. It will have 102 tax credit units targeting seniors earning up to 60% of area median income, and the remaining 28 units will be market rate units. The site is adjacent to the recently approved VITA of Greenfield Affordable Assisted Living project. The development campus will be designed to provide a care continuum for seniors 62 and older, including 1 and 2 bedroom units, units and amenities, including walking paths, a dog park, patios, and a courtyard. During the round, real estate staff reviewed the application to ensure it met the criteria of the 2022 QAP. And you'll also see we have begun tracking metrics for the 2022 bond round. So far, a total of 7. This includes the other deals that are on the agenda today. So approving of those are approved along with this one. It would bring our total to 1,770 units, which just a little more than half are rehab. So that's what we are seeing so far this year. So at this point, I'd be happy to take any questions on this project.
Any questions, board? Okay. Alan, we are ready for your resolution.
Thank you. Staff respectfully requests the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the board approve awarding $16,707,076 in bond value and $664,501 in annual LIHTC to VITA of Greenfield IL LLC for VITA of Greenfield IL according to the terms of the 2022 AV application round as recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve. Kelly Mitchell.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second, June Midkiff.
Thank you. I will now take roll. Ann Valentine, serving for Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, aye. Mark Pascarella,
Aye.
Kelly Mitchell,
Aye.
J. June Midkiff,
Aye.
G. Michael Schaffmeyer.
Aye.
Hearing no one opposed, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Alan. You will now be presenting on bond volume 4% credits for Country View Apartments.
Yes, thank you. So Country View Apartments is the 8th application we received during the 2022 bond round. It has a total development cost of $23.8 million. It's requesting $12.5 million in bond value and $764,381 in tax credits to preserve 206 units of affordable housing. G&B Glick is the developer. They're proposing to develop the rehab of a 206-unit apartment community in Bloomington. It's comprised of 21 residential buildings and 1 community building. The development will serve families earning up to 60% of AMI and will include 1, 2, 3, and actually some 4-bedroom units. Unit upgrades will include updated kitchens, new appliances, new bathtubs, and HVAC replacement, to name a few of them. Also, this deal came in under the 2022 QAP, so the staff ensured it met the criteria of that QAP. And I'd be happy to take any questions on this one.
Any questions for Alan, board?
Just curious, the 4-bedroom, I mean, the 3 to 4 bedrooms are good to see because it doesn't seem like a lot of times they're not that large. And obviously with that scenario of being able to provide for the income level, I think is pretty good.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, it's unusual we see 4-bedroom units. It has 2, so not a lot, but just provide that option, 24 3-bedroom units. So certainly a good option for the larger families.
yeah, definitely.
All right, Alan, we're ready for your resolution.
Staff respectfully requests the board approve the following resolution. Resolve that the board approve awarding $12,500,000 in bond value and $764,381 in annual LIHTC to Country View Housing LP for Country View Apartments according to the terms of the 2022 AB application round as recommended by staff.
Thank you, board. We have a resolution before us. I will entertain a motion.
Mike Schotmeyer, move for approval.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Mark Pascarella, second.
Thank you. I will now take the roll. Ann Valentine for Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, aye. Mark Pascarella,
Aye.
Kelly Mitchell,
Aye.
J. June Midkiff,
Aye.
G. Michael Schotmeyer.
Aye.
Hearing no one opposed, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Alan. Alan will now present the bond volume / 4% credits for Hoosier Woods.
Yes, so Hoosier Woods is the ninth application received in the 2022 bond round. Total development cost of $25.29 million. It is requesting $13 million in bond volume, $889,061 in tax credits, and a $500,000 development fund loan. And this is also a preservation deal preserving 214 units of affordable housing. TWG Development is the developer. They're proposing a full rehab at Hoosier Woods. This project is in Anderson. The work inside each unit will feature new flooring, paint, appliances, kitchen cabinets, plumbing fixtures, lighting, HVAC units, and more. Community amenities will also be added or upgraded, including a playground, laundry facility, fitness center, and swimming pool. Also, this rehab will include significant accessibility upgrades in 13 units and community spaces will ensure, this along with upgrades in community spaces will ensure ADA compliance. Also, 204 of the units will target households earning up to 60% of AMI, and 10 units will target households earning up to 50% AMI. During the round, the staff ensured that it met the criteria of the 2022 QAP. So we are recommending $13 million in bond volume, tax credit amount that they requested, and also a $500,000 development fund loan. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Peter? If not, I think we're ready for your resolution.
Okay, staff respectfully requests.
Alan, sorry.
Staff respectfully requests the board approve the following resolution. Resolve that the board approve awarding $13 million in bond volume, $889,061 in annual LIHTC, and $500,000 development fund loan to TWG Hoosier Woods LP for Hoosier Woods, according to the terms of the 2022 AB application round as recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. Is there a motion for approval?
June Midkiff, so moved.
Thank you. Second?
Kelly Mitchell, second.
Thank you, Kelly. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you,
Okay,
Alan.
thank you.
And,
We need to go through each board member.
oh, we gotta do that vote. Yes, okay, sorry. Suzanne Crouch, voting aye. Mark Pascarella.
Aye.
Thank you. Treasurer of State Kelly Mitchell.
Aye.
Excuse me, Board Member June Midkiff.
Aye.
Andy Place is absent. Board Member G. Michael Schotmeyer.
Aye.
Thank you. And Board Member Tom McGowan is absent. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please welcome Samantha Bergel, who will present the Home Buyer Award Recommendation Habitat for Humanity for Morgan County. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Not a bond project today, but very excited to present actually 2 separate resolutions for the Home Investment Partnerships Program grant for home buyer. The first is for Habitat for Humanity of Morgan County. On May 11th, we received an application from Habitat for the new construction of 3 units for homeownership in Martinsville. Each of those were under the 2021 home buyer policy. Each of those will be 3-bedroom. Per unit cost of roughly $98,000. And I do also want to note, because I think this is really neat, Habitat is actually partnering with Marksville High School on youth build, and so I did want to note that as well for that innovative partnership. Right. Pause to see if anyone has any questions.
Are there any questions by board members? Samantha, I believe we're ready for your resolution.
Staff respectfully requests the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the board approve awarding home funding in the form of a grant in an amount not to exceed $296,953 to Habitat for Humanity of Morgan County Incorporated as recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. Is there a motion for approval?
Kelly Mitchell, so moved.
Thank you, Kelly. Is there a second?
Mark Pascarella, second.
It's been moved and seconded. We will now take the roll. Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, yes. Mark Pascarella,
Aye.
Kelly Mitchell,
Aye.
Jean Midkiff,
Aye.
Andy Place is absent. G. Michael Shotmar,
yes,
and Tom McGowan is absent. The motion carries. Thank you, Samantha. But I think now you're also going to present the Home Innovation Round Habitat Development Corporation.
Yes, thank you. So you may remember back in 2020, we released the first round of the Home Innovation Round. This is how we focused on providing additional production of homeownership units under the home program throughout the state of Indiana, and 3 entities were selected, one of whom was Habitat for Humanity of Greater Indianapolis. They have created a subsidiary, CHOTA, which is a community housing development organization. This is the first of its kind in the state of Indiana, the first that we've seen with the Habitat chapter. So very exciting. And that entity is called the Habitat Development Corporation. We received an application for their first phase of funding on June 1st. This is for the new construction of 4 duplexes in Noblesville, Indiana, each of which will be 3-bedroom. And they are requesting $444,200. I will also pause. And there are actually 2 separate resolutions for this. The first is the construction financing, and then the second is the what we call the CHOTA operating supplement, which is only available for CHOTAs under the home regulations and provides operating support for those nonprofits.
Thank you, Samantha. Do we have questions by board members? I think we're ready for your resolution.
Certainly. I'll start with the first one. Staff respectfully requests the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the board approve awarding home funding in the form of a grant in an amount not to exceed $444,200 to Habitat Development Corporation LLC as recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Kelly Mitchell,
move
so
for
moved.
approval, Mike Shotmeyer.
Mike, would you change your motion into a second? Kelly's already moved for it.
Yes, I will second, Mike Shotmeyer.
And moved and seconded. We will take the roll. Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch votes yes. Treasurer Kelly Mitchell,
Yes.
Mark Pascarella,
Yes.
June Midkiff,
Yes.
Andy Place is absent. Michael Shotmar,
Yes,
and Tom McGowan is absent. The motion carries. Thank you. We're out ready for your second resolution.
Staff respectfully requests that the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the board approve awarding home CHOTA operating supplement funding in the form of a grant in an amount not to exceed $50,000 to Habitat Development Corporation LLC as recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Move to approve, Mark Pascarella.
Thank you.
Second, June Midkiff.
Thank you, June. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say, oops. Excuse me. Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch votes yes. Mark Pascarella,
Yes.
Treasurer Mitchell,
Yes.
June Midkiff,
Yes.
Andy Place is absent. Michael Shotmar,
yes,
and Tom McGowan is absent. Motion carried. Thank you, Samantha. Please welcome Megan Bowman, who will present the bond value 4% credit for the Vita of New Whiteland. Welcome, Megan.
Good morning. Thank you. So I'm going, and a baseball reference, we're rounding third and we're going to help with the bond volume. West Village, or sorry, Vita of New Whiteland Independent Living was the 6th application received and reviewed by staff in the 2022 AB round. The project represents a total development cost of about $23.7 million, with $17,242,369 in bond volume and $674,394 in annual low-income housing tax credits for 10 years. Vita of New Whiteland is the identical twin of the Vita of Greenfield independent living development presented earlier by Alan, and the fraternal twin, if you will, of the Vita of New Whiteland affordable assisted living project approved by this board earlier in the year. The developer, Vita Investment Holdings, has proposed a campus where this independent living property, composed of over 130 units, will be adjacent to the previously approved affordable assisted living property to allow seniors to better age in place. Of these 130 independent living units, 102 will be tax credit units and 28 will be market rate. The tax credit units will target seniors earning up to 60% of area median income. Vita of New Whiteland Independent Living will include brand new 1 and 2 bedroom apartments with community amenities such as walking paths, a dog park, patios, and a courtyard. During the round, real estate department staff reviewed the application to ensure it met criteria set forth in the qualified allocation plan. They'd be happy to take any questions at this time.
Board, are there any questions for Megan? If not, I'll entertain. We'll be ready for your resolution, Megan.
Staff respectfully request the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the board approve awarding $17,242,369 in bond volume and $674,394,000 in annual LIHTC to Vita of New Whiteland IL LLC for Vita of New Whiteland Independent Living, according to the terms of the 2022 AB application round as recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Move for approval, Mike Schotmeyer.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, June Midkiff.
Thank you, June. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Oops. Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch votes yes. Mark Pascarella?
Aye.
Treasurer Mitchell?
Yes.
June Midkiff?
Yes.
Andy Place is absent. Michael Schotmeyer?
Yes.
And Tom McGowan is absent. Motion carries. Thank you, Megan. But you are now going to present bond volume 4% credits for Plaza at Central Green. Thank you.
Yeah, the Plaza at Central Greens was the 3rd application received and reviewed by staff in the 2022 AB round. It represents a total development cost of just under $34 million, with $25.5 million requested in bond volume and a little over 1.5 requested in annual LIHTC for 10 years. They've also requested a $750,000 development fund loan. Radiant Communities Development Corporation and T&H Investments LLC are working together to bring 122 brand new units to the Central State Campus here in Indianapolis on West Washington Street. This is an area that's seen significant investment over the last 5 to 10 years, including from IHCDA. The Plaza at Central Greens will target families earning 50% and 60% of area median income. All 122 brand new units will include high quality furnishings, including full-size kitchen appliances, ceiling fans, washers, and dryers. And the community amenities include fitness center, computer lab, and community room. Further details can be found in Exhibit A. During the round, real estate staff reviewed the application to ensure it met criteria set forth in the 2022 qualified allocation plan. And I'd be happy to take any questions.
Are there any questions for Megan? If not, I'll entertain. Oh, no, we'll have a resolution, Megan.
Staff respectfully request the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the board approve awarding $25.5 million in bond volume and $1,518,036 in annual LIHTC and $750,000 in development funds to the Plaza at Central Greens LP for the Plaza at Central Greens, according to the terms of the 2022 AB application round as recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll move to approve, Kelly Mitchell.
Thank you, Kelly. Is there a second?
Mark Pascarella, second.
It's been seconded. All in. Suzanne Crouch votes yes. Mark Pascarella?
Yes.
Kelly Mitchell?
Yes.
June Midkiff?
Yes.
Andy Place is absent. Michael Schattmeyer
Yes.
and Tom McGowan is absent. Motion carries. Thank you, Megan. And please welcome Megan Hebert, who will now present the Creating Places update and funding request. It's been widely popular out there.
Absolutely. Well, I'm here today a little bit earlier than normal. So I'm Megan Keeper. I'm the placemaking manager here at IHCDA, and I have a request for funding to continue the Creating Places program into the rest of 2022 and 2023. But before I do that, I'm going to just go through a brief update for you all. I have a board packet that has a bit of a presentation, so I'm going to run through that pretty quickly here and get to share with you a little bit of our work that we've been doing over the past 8 to 10 months or so. So just to provide a brief reminder, the Creating Places program is an innovative crowdfunding program that was established in the fall of 2016. And we launched it in collaboration with our partner Patronicity. This provides an innovative crowd granting model that allows not-for-profit and local unit of government applicants to receive funds for place-based improvement projects within their community. Groups raise funds on the beginning of their campaign, and then if they are successful in raising funds, they receive a matched fund from IHCDA and are able to leverage state dollars against community dollars. Next slide. So as I mentioned before, the last update was in November of last year. Typically, we come at an annual basis to provide you an update of the campaigns that we have seen in the successful projects. We've seen an increase in awards and popularity of this program, so we're here a little bit earlier than normal. As you can see this timeline that I've provided, we've seen around 25 to 35 campaigns per year. Last year, we saw around 30 campaigns, and so far this year, we've seen 23 successful campaigns and 9 campaigns that are currently live. All of which we expect to be successful. So given that, we are currently beyond the number of campaigns that we had last year, and we're just over halfway through the year. So that just goes to show we've seen a lot of success and popularity with this program and are excited to continue this work. So just to provide you a few stats for the program thus far, we've had 171 campaigns completed. Like I mentioned, 9 are currently live. 165 of these have been successful. We've maintained a 96% success rate with these campaigns, and that really speaks to our team with our partnership with Patronicity in providing all of our campaigns the resources that they need in order to be successful. We've crowdfunded our projects have crowdfunded around $6.7 million from donors, and we've leveraged that with $5.5 million from IHCDA grants. What's really unique about this program is for every $1 that IHCDA puts into these projects, communities are able to fundraise $4.50. So we see a lot of private investment from communities. See some average project data there. We have on average around $33,000 raised or as a goal, and then on average our projects do raise over their goal. I wanted to provide you a little bit of a picture of where we have a presence in throughout the state of Indiana. It's been a goal of Creating Places from the start to have a presence in every county if possible. You can see in the navy blue counties, that's where we already have a presence with a successful campaign. And the green counties are new counties that since the last update in November. We also have one county that has a currently live campaign that we expect to be successful. And we have a couple other projects in the pipeline in new counties as well. On a slightly more granular level, we are located in 86 unique towns and cities across the state. And something we're particularly proud of is that 6 of our currently live campaigns are in communities of 3,000 or less. So that just really goes to show that this project or this program is able to be accessible to communities large and small, and speaks to the outreach efforts that our team has had in being able to present in large communities and small and speak about this program. Just a few program challenges and highlights from the past 2022 so far. So we've seen an increase in projects that have requested in historic districts. This does require some additional approvals, but we are really overall very excited to be part of downtown revitalization and seeing so many projects that are in downtown historic districts. We have seen an increase or a continuation of some supply chain and inflation cost struggles with our projects being able to be completed within the 1-year time frame that we set out for them. But we have seen quite a few projects able to get completed in the past summer months and continue to work with our projects to face those challenges. And we have a very robust pipeline, as I mentioned. Our patronicity partners have had to add a new staff in order to help with the influx of interested parties. And we're excited to continue our work. Just a few highlights. So we successfully celebrated the 150th successful Creating Places campaign this past April. Thank you to the Lieutenant Governor for joining us in Fort Wayne to celebrate a groundbreaking for the Irwin Rockets Elementary School playground for a community in Fort Wayne or neighborhood in Fort Wayne. Bridget with Patronicity was able to visit the National Main Street Conference in May and share about our program there. And then we also were able to feature our program on WFYI's All In podcast in March. And now I get to the fun part of the presentation where I get to share with you a little bit about a few of the projects that we've seen and talk about the excellent work that's being done. So the first project I wanted to highlight for you today is a project that has received a lot of statewide and local attention. This is Clarksville's Rosie the Riveter project in the town of Clarksville, obviously in Clark County. And this is a memorial to Clarksville's own Rose Will Monroe, who riveted B-24 bombers during World War II. She was the inspiration for the popular Rosie the Riveter campaign that drew women to the workforce in the 1940s to support the war effort. So this really cool, unique, interactive memorial will allow visitors to take a picture with Rosie and to learn a little bit more about the history of her and the history of women in the workforce. We expect to celebrate the opening of this project in September, so coming up quickly. We're very excited to see that. And they raised nearly double their campaign amount. So they were hoping for 40,000 and they were able to raise 80,000, just shy of 80,000. So they're able to expand their project scope a little bit with those additional funds. The next project that I wanted to highlight was just to show some of the partnership that we've had with Indiana Nature Conservation. This is the boardwalk at Liebig Bog, just outside of South Bend in St. Joe County. This is, like I mentioned, an example of our connection to Indiana nature conservation and trail creation throughout the state. The project will draw visitors who can walk along the bog and explore Indiana plants, birds, and other wildlife on an ADA accessible boardwalk. We've had 10 successful nature projects and 2 on Indiana nature preserves throughout the program. I'm just going to give a little bit of a 22 look ahead. So we have I'm going to highlight one project that just recently completed and then one project that's currently live. So this is the Holdsworth Entertainment Pavilion in Versailles, Indiana. It's a highlight community that we've been wanting to have a presence in for some time now. And there was some blighted space along the main street in Versailles, and the community came together to raise money for a live music stage in the downtown area that honors some longtime music directors of the South Ripley Schools, Gary and Patsy Holdsworth, very beloved band directors. You can see a photo in your packet of Gary and Patsy out in Washington, D.C. with students, and they've had a long impact, and so we're excited to see this pavilion that will really keep live music as a part of Versailles history for many years to come. I'm just going to end my presentation today with a currently live campaign that we are particularly excited about. Really preserving Indiana history. It's something that's very near and dear to the Creating Places program. This is a currently live project called the Gardens at Hazelden Estate in Brook, which is in Newton County, a very small community. And this project is being put on by the George Age Historic Preservation Commission. The Hazelden Estate is the historic home of George Ade, who is a celebrated Indiana writer who wrote Broadway plays and best-selling books. And the garden project will assist in re-inspiring the historic grounds and turn it into an event space so individuals can rent out the space and provide for the sustainability of the estate long-term. That's all I have for my update. I'll pause now for any questions.
Hey, Megan, if a community has a creating places campaign and they're successful, when can they come back into a second?
They can come back as soon as their project is completed. So they have 1 year to complete their campaign or complete their project after their campaign and they receive our funds. And once they have that completed, they can come back again. And we do see some communities come back a second time. For instance, in Arcadia, we just recently saw a successful campaign. They created a splash pad a couple years ago, and they've come back to provide some public restrooms next to the splash pad. So really tag teaming those two campaigns together, it's been a huge impact on that community.
Thank you. Any questions?
I have a question. Is it possible for board members to be made aware of when these like ribbon cuttings and events are in case they're in our backyard and we'd like to go?
Absolutely.
That would be great.
That's
Thank you.
definitely something I can look into.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have 2 resolutions for you. Would you like me to read them together?
Separately, let's do it separately.
Okay. The first is for the delegated authority to utilize the funds, and then the second is for the funds. So I'll read the first one first. Staff respectfully requests the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the board authorizes IHCDA staff to take all actions necessary to approve the allocation of the crowdfunding grants, provided that the board is informed of all crowdfunding awards on an annual basis as recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. Is there a motion for approval?
Mike Schotmeyer, move for approval.
That's
Kelly,
come out
would you
again.
change yours?
I'll change mine to a
All right,
second.
Mike Schotmeyer moves approval and Kelly Mitchell seconds it. Suzanne Crouch votes yes. Mark Pascarella,
Yes.
Kelly Mitchell.
Yes.
June Midcap,
yes,
Andy Cohen is absent. Mike Schotmeyer,
Yes.
Tom McGowan's absent. Motion carries, and we're ready for your second resolution.
Thank you. Staff respectfully requests the board approve the following resolution. Resolved that the board approves the allocation of development fund in the form of grants in an amount not to exceed $1 million as recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. Is there a motion for approval?
June Midkiff, so moved.
Thank you. Second?
Mark Pascarella, second.
It's been moved and seconded. Suzanne Crouch votes yes. Mark Pascarella,
Yes.
Kelly Mitchell.
Yes.
June Midcap.
Yes,
Andy Place is absent. Mike Schotmeyer
Yes.
and Tom McGowan's absent. Motion carries. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you so much.
Please welcome Richard Harcourt, who will present a board recommendation regarding Misty Glen Apartment. Good morning, Richard.
Madam Chair and Board, good morning. That's a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
So I have 3 items to talk about. The first is Misty Glen, which is a multifamily project that you all approved as a board in June of 2021, both the LIHTC credits and the bond debt. And then we came back in May of 2022 to seek approval to be the issuer for the tax exempt debt. And we're back again in July. And today, all we're seeking is a difference in the funding source. We had originally approved a cash collateral bond structure. The developer would like to issue it through a private placement. So this is merely a request just to ask to change the financing source within a project that you all have approved.
Are there questions for Richard? Do you have a resolution for us?
I do, Madam Chair. Staff respectfully requests the board approve the following resolution. Resolve that the board approve the change in finance plan and issuance of Series 2022 multifamily housing revenue bonds and the loan of the proceeds thereof to Misty Glen 2021 LLC pursuant to the attached resolution as recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Move to approve.
Thank
Mark
you.
Pascarella?
Kelly Mitchell, second.
It's been moved and seconded. Suzanne Crouch votes yes. Mark Pascarella?
Yes.
Kelly Mitchell?
Yes.
June Midkiff?
yes,
Andy Place is absent. Michael Shamar?
yes,
And Tom McGowan is absent. Motion carries. Now, ready to move on?
I am. Thank you,
All
Madam
right,
Chair.
so you're going to present a bond recommendation regarding the Series 2022 CD.
Happily, we're back for the third time this year to request permission to issue bonds for our single-family business. Recall that a big part of our business is making single-family loans to first-time qualified home buyers, where we provide not only an attractive rate, but also down payment assistance. And as you can imagine, that business has been really robust both last year and this year. So we're back for the third time this year to ask for an issuance of two different series this time. The first is Series 2022C, which will be a tax exempt issue, which we will use to continue to finance the purchases of bonds. It looks like, given market conditions today, we'll yet again be able to do a fixed rate issue, although the resolution requests the ability to do variable rate. We anticipate doing fixed rate, and it's typical. If we thought we were moving to a variable rate structure, we'd get with our friends at IFA and get Mark and Dan's input on that. But I think it'll probably be a fixed rate issue. We're asking for an authority of 200 million. The second series is a taxable issue. So we're asking to be able to issue taxable debt up to $50 million, and that will support a new program that we're introducing into the marketplace. As you'll recall, we used to do homes for second and first time home buyers, some of which we sold into the secondary market. That secondary market has disappeared. It's no longer there. The government has quit buying those bonds. And so this is a kind of a toe in the water attempt to provide assistance to those home buyers through a taxable offering. We're asking for $50 million. It'll probably be much less than that. And we may defer that issue. We'd like your permission to, your approval for it today, but we may defer the issuance as we get closer to having a pipeline of product built up. So I will stop there and take questions.
Other questions for Richard?
Only comment I have is, as usual, Richard's reached out to the IFA, which we always appreciate.
I believe we're ready for your resolution, Richard.
Staff respectfully request the board approve. Resolve that the board approve the issuance of the 2022 Series C bonds and 2022 Series D bonds and the related bond documents and disclosure documents as substantially final in the form presented, and authorize any authorized officer to execute the same as recommended by staff.
We have a motion or a resolution before us, board. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move to approve. Mark Pascarella?
Thank you.
second, Mike Schotmeyer,
It's been moved and seconded. Suzanne Crouch votes yes. Mark Pascarella?
Yes.
Kelly Mitchell?
Yes.
June Midkiff?
yes,
Andy Place is absent. Michael Shamar?
yes,
And Tom McGowan is absent. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now,
Number three.
number three, yes, I believe you're going to present on the Hoosier Woods Apartments, your bond recommendation.
Yes, so board, you just saw this a few minutes ago. A project up in Anderson, Indiana. You approved the credits and the bond indebtedness. And so this resolution is just merely asking permission for IHCDA to be the issuer of that non-recourse debt. So I'll stop there unless you want me to go into more detail.
Board, any questions? I believe we're ready for your resolution, Richard.
Staff respectfully requests the board approve. Resolved that the board approve the Series 2022 multifamily housing revenue notes Hoosier Woods project pursuant to the resolution attached hereto as Exhibit A is recommended by staff.
Board, we have a resolution before us. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Move to approve. Mark Pascarella?
Thank you. It's been moved, seconded.
Kelly Mitchell, second.
It's been moved and seconded. Suzanne Crouch votes yes. Mark Pascarella?
Yes.
Kelly Mitchell?
Yes.
June Midkiff?
yes,
Andy Place is absent. Michael Shalmar
yes,
and Tom McGowan is absent. Motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Now, Executive Director Jacob Seif has an update for us.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A couple of updates for the board this month. On June, as we've seen, and we've seen in the previous months, our multifamily bond volume has been very robust, and also on our single family has also been very robust, which is great. However, at the same time, we do have a cap on the amount of bond volume that we have for housing. And so on the multifamily side, our applications are outpacing the amount of volume that we have. So on June 30th, we had to announce that we were closing, taking any new multifamily bond applications. This is the first time that I can remember we've ever had to close the round. It has always been an open round and allow developers to submit applications on an ongoing basis because we always had sufficient bond volume to meet that demand and that pipeline that has been there. But unfortunately, the pipeline has outgrown the amount of volume that we have in the demand. So had to close it. We currently have, I think, 19 applications, which we've funded apparently around 9 or so. We've had to put 4 of them on a wait list. We also had another 9 or so developers that notified us of their intent to apply within the next 30 days. So we had to go back to them and let them know that the number of applications currently in and awarded exceeds what we have available. So that round has closed. We're going to continue to evaluate and see what's the appropriate way to move forward as we think about 2023 in terms of allocating the bond volume. So that's where we are with our multifamily bond volume. We'll still see some applications that are currently being reviewed, and then those will be recommended to the board here in the next few months. So that's where we are with our multifamily bond program. So earlier this month, we did something unique. Each year, the Indiana Community Action Network hosts an annual conference. And we wanted to recognize some of the community action agencies across our state who have really stood out and done some amazing things over the last few years. So we created a recognition award, and I just want to briefly mention the 3 agencies that we have recognized for their work. First award, we call it the Red Carpet Award, which really is given to a community action agency who's made the industry look good, not only in the state, but nationally. And so with that, we recognize BrightPoint for the collaborative work that they had done with the Energy Assistance Program and some of the case management with their Energy Assistance Program. BrightPoint serves multiple different counties. They're based in Allen County, but primarily up in the northeast area of the state. So we had a Trailblazer Award, and that was with an agency that we saw had implemented something new to ensure that their services could continue to be delivered. And that was Lincoln Hills down in Tell City. They put up some tellers stations where they could continue to meet with community individuals so they could continue to provide those services. And then a community collaboration award that we recognized, which partners with multiple different agencies in a community to deliver a service or an initiative, and that was JobSource and Anderson. And they're working on developing, and actually should be placed in service here later this summer or maybe early fall, a Scholar House. The Scholar House model is focused on single parents who are going to school for career learning, and this is also a partnership with Anderson University. So JobSource has received our collaboration award. So we were really proud to be able to recognize all 3 of those agencies. So quick update on the Homeowner Assistance Fund. We have distributed just over $8.2 million. We've helped over 742 homeowners with mortgage assistance to prevent foreclosure. We actually have 1,400 that are waiting on our servicers, our mortgage servicers, to give us some information so we can make payments to an additional 1,400 homeowners. So the program is very robust. We still have that public dashboard that you can go onto and look and see specific information by county, if you'd like to look at it by county in terms of how many people we serve. It also has demographic information as well as some homeownership counseling information as well, which these homeowners have that option to participate in homeownership counseling. The emergency rental assistance program, we've had to announce on Monday with a press release that we are closing the application portal tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern time. The number of applications that we currently have will exhaust the remaining dollars that we have available. So currently, as of Tuesday, we've assisted just under 30,000 Hoosier renters with rental assistance and utility assistance. And we paid out or obligated out just under $370 million. So we still continue to post a weekly emergency rental assistance report that's posted on our website as well. So for the next couple months, we'll continue to process those applications that we've received and make sure that those applications that we have and make sure that we can continue to make those payments. We provide up to 18 months of rental assistance and utility assistance as well. So, but unfortunately, the demand that we have in terms of applications and the amount of funds we have available, we are at a place where we need to stop taking applications. So renters and landlords, they can sign up to receive notices. If we were ever able to open up the round again, we would make sure that they're aware of that. So we will take, renters will have an opportunity to sign up for updates on the program in the future if funds do become available. And they may come available. So we do pay 18 months, but a renter has to recertify every 3 months because we can only pay out 3 months in advance. So there might be some situations where we have renters who only use 10 months of assistance rather than the full 18 months. And so those additional dollars then could be made available to other renters at another point in time. So
Are our eviction rates still pretty low?
They are below the 5-year average. I was looking at that the other day. And so according to some of the data sources that have traditionally been used to determine eviction rates across our state, they still are below the 5-year average that we had prior to the pandemic, yes. Yeah. IHCDA, the magazine, is available now. It's our summer issue. I'm really proud of that. Our team works really hard to tell some success stories and highlight our not-for-profit organizations and those leaders in their communities that are really doing some great things with housing and community development. So really proud of everyone who contributed to the magazine. It is available online now as well. We actually also have some hard copies if any board members would be interested in having a copy or a hard copy of the magazine as well. Lastly, our next board meeting is August 25th. It'll be in this room here at IHCDA at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So hopefully you can join us again. As we go into September, I just want to give you a heads up. The board meeting will align with the Indiana Housing Conference, and that will be at the Marriott here in downtown. And then immediately following the board meeting, we're planning to have the Lieutenant Governor's Excellence in Affordable Housing Awards at the luncheon. So in September, our board meeting will be at the Marriott as part of the Indiana Housing Conference. And then right after that, we will be providing the annual Lieutenant Governor's Excellence in Affordable Housing Awards luncheon. So
can board members go to the luncheon?
yes, absolutely. Yep. Yes. So if any board members are interested, hopefully you can stay and be a part of that luncheon as well. So, and if the board member can't make it to a Creating Places opening, hopefully you get to go and at least participate in a lot of the activated new space that we have done across the state. As Megan did a great job and with patronicity and explaining and sharing with you. If you can imagine it, we're doing it when it comes to placemaking and activating underutilized spaces. So especially as the weather is really nice, hopefully you can get out. Even we've had a lot of Creating Places also that have really thrived in supporting winter activities as well. So as the months change and the seasons change, those places are continuing to be active. And so it's really a great program overall. So that's my update for this month.
Questions? Is there further business to come before the board at this time? Hearing none, we stand adjourned. Thank you, board members.
Thank you.
Thank you.